Hi, my name's Elena Cajas, and I'm an undergraduate here at Nicholls State University. Why did you choose Nicholls as your dietetic internship program? So one of the main reasons why I chose Nicholls as my dietetic internship program is because I attended my undergraduate at Nicholls. And as you know, Nicholls is kind of a smaller university. And as Ms. Ashley stated in one of her videos, she said that the internship is a little bit smaller because it's newer right now. So that kind of gives me a little comfort because I really do enjoy smaller universities because you get that one-on-one time more and you get to ask more questions. You get that personable time. And I also chose Nicholls because Miss Ashley is our teacher and one of our preceptors. So like during rotations, she's going to be there and she's going to be guiding us and teaching us while also assigning us coursework. So it's kind of like killing two birds with one stone. I really do I like that because other internships really don't have that. You know, you're going to have like just a normal dietitian in the hospital, but we get to have Miss Ashley, who's also our teacher. So that's a big advantage right there. And I really think that I'm going to learn a lot from her. And, you know, I've asked a couple of my peers who attended Nicholls internship, and, you know, they said nothing but good things from the Nicholls internship, you know. And also, Miss Foray did say in one of her videos that 5 of the interns passed the RD exam, and that gives me the hope and confidence that I can pass the RD exam from your internship. And I really do feel like I could do that with the preparation and guidance that I get from this upcoming year. So another reason why I chose Nicholls as my internship program is because I looked at like the rotation sites and how many hours are in each one, and I like how the clinical rotations have the most hours. They also have the NFPE in the clinical rotations, which is awesome because we did that in my undergraduate here at Nicholls, and you know that kind of gives me like a little advantage because I do know how it goes because we did it in our undergraduate. We got to go in the room, introduce ourselves to the dummy, and like got to perform the activities to the dummy. It was really fun, and I hope I could do it again in the future to a real patient. The other reason I chose Nicholls is because I do like the fact they have staff relief. So like you get to choose, you know, which rotation site you want to go to again, and get to really like focus on that and shadow the dietitian, and get to just absorb everything that you want to know. Another reason why I chose Nicholls as my dietetic internship program is because I am from the Houma-Thibodaux area. I'm from Houma, Louisiana, which is 30 minutes away from Thibodaux, but I'm also very familiar with different cities around Houma-Thibodaux, varying from an hour to an hour 30 to 2 hour radius. Why do you want to be a dietitian? What is your dream job and why? So, nutrition has been a part of my life for a very long time. One of the personal experiences I had with nutrition is whenever I was 10 or 11 years old, the neurologist told me to try the ketogenic diet for my epilepsy. And so I tried it for a month or two, but it really wasn't sustainable for me at the time because of my physical activity level. But after I did it, I was very interested into why I was even supposed to do it in the first place. Why would cutting out bread and pasta help my seizure activity level? Didn't really understand it as a kid, but later on, I would research more and more about it. And then my freshman year, another experience I had was, you know, I struggled with body dysmorphia. I wanted to look like the regular cross-country runner, you know. So I tried to lose weight my freshman year for cross-country, and so what I did was I cut out carbohydrates. And when I did that, I found myself feeling very lethargic, dizzy, fatigued, and I always had headaches. I didn't really realize why until I transferred over into dietetics my spring semester, and that's when I realized what I was doing wrong. I wasn't giving myself enough calories throughout the day to give myself energy to perform these activities, these long workouts, these long runs that I had scheduled for cross country, and it was horrible. But after you know, I changed my lifestyle and ate the right things, I felt phenomenal. I could do the things that I wasn't able to do before. I want to be a clinical dietitian that talks to doctors and nurses and gets their input on the patient so that I can make the best nutritional treatment plan for that specific patient. But I also want to make rounds in the hospital and see every patient as much as I can so that I can get a better understanding of that patient's lifestyle choices and their habits and their dietary intake at that time, but also to be their support system. I do want to work in the ICU unit. That's been my goal for a while now, because these patients are in critical care. They do need a lot of support, and these patients are coming off of post surgeries and injuries and serious traumas and burns and so on. So a lot of times these patients are malnourished and they suffer from muscle loss. And a lot of times you do see these patients on ventilations and machines, and they can't even get up to go to the bathroom or just sit up sometimes. So getting in that adequate nutrition treatment plan for that patient is essential in their life, because it's going to give them those essential vitamins and minerals and carbs, proteins and fats and all of that, to help ease their time spent at the hospital, but hopefully get them to recover faster out of the ICU unit and get them to be discharged from the hospital quicker as well. Describe a situation where you had to solve a problem at work or school, and what was the outcome? So this was a work-related problem. One of my coworkers answered the phone to a customer. Then she put her on hold. She came and told me what the situation was. So I immediately answered the phone. I said, "Hey, my name's Elena. How may I help you today?" The customer was super upset and distraught because we forgot one of the toppings on her salad. So I said, "I'm sorry this happened to you. Let me get down your name and number so that the next time you come, we will grant you a free gift card or a free super salad." And she was like, "Okay, thank you for offering me this. I just wanted to let you know so that it doesn't happen to other customers." And that was that. And the outcome was great because she is now a regular customer and we know her by name now. Another example of a time when I solved a problem at work was during COVID. It was the beginning of COVID and everything was curbside. And we had about 40 vehicles outside of the cafe at all times. And we had one runner running the orders to the vehicles. And I just stopped and I took a deep breath and I said, okay, there has to be a more efficient way of doing this. And the only way I thought of was giving everyone a piece of paper and saying, write down your name so that whenever I come out, I know which car you're in. And so that's what we did. And it definitely worked out, made everything a lot easier, and made the workday go by a lot faster and easier for everyone. Give an example of a time that you had to work as part of a team. Tell how you were an effective team member and what you struggle with. So there have been many examples of a time where I had to work as part of a team. We are given many group projects in my undergraduate program. One of them was in this fall. We had to do a presentation with a voice record over with 3 other classmates, which is a little bit tricky, but I took the initiative and I texted everyone and made sure that everyone knew what each person was going to be talking about. But I also made sure I knew what they were going to be talking about, made sure I knew their topics so that whenever it was my turn to go, I made sure that it would run smoothly and it would make sense. Another example of a time whenever I was an effective team member is whenever we were calculating calorie needs for a female. So 2 of my classmates were doing it for the male, but it was supposed to be for female. So I said, hey guys, it's supposed to be for female, and these are the numbers for the female. They said, oh my gosh, thank you so much. And then we ended up getting the correct answer because it was off in the beginning. And it's just little things like that can go a long way. You have to be an effective classmate or an effective. Another example of a time whenever I was an effective team member is whenever we do group Zoom calls and we discuss case studies. So in these case studies, you're given a patient and their disease state or whatever they have. And you and 2 or 3 other classmates have to figure out the best nutrition treatment plan for the patient. And, whenever you're in these group Zoom calls, you really have to be effective. You have to voice your opinion and say, like, okay, well, don't forget, y'all, like, this patient has this, or he's taking this medication, so we can't take this supplement, or he's in this disease state, so we should probably do this diet plan, and like how much of each thing. And it's just like little things like that can go a long way, because if you just sit there and don't say anything, then you're not going to gain anything out of it. And to be a dietitian, you do have to talk, and you have to talk to other healthcare workers. I'd say I'd struggle with not asking enough questions to my teachers. I feel as though if I just ask the questions, then I'll get the answers immediately from my teachers instead of looking it up on Google later that night. Describe a time when you successfully motivated coworkers or employees. So whenever I head into work, it's always after practice or after school. I walk in the doors and I see my coworkers, and I always tell them, hello, like, how's your day going? What you have planned this weekend? What kind of music do you want to listen to? And then whenever it hits 2 o'clock or 2:30, I always say the same thing. I say, all right, guys, we have 30 minutes to an hour. Let's be efficient as possible so we can get out of here quickly. And just like little things like that can go a long way in the work atmosphere, and just bring everybody closer and energetic and lively. I definitely feel like I will be a great candidate for your Nicholls internship, because I'm a very strong person and I am very dedicated to what my studies consist of. Whenever I put myself into something, I always finish it, and I'm ready for the Nicholls internship to guide me into the road into becoming a registered dietitian.